Let's talk about the characteristics of quadratics today. On your papers, if you would for me, draw your x and y axis, first period. And then we're going to draw a quadratic equation, what the graph of it would look like. So the graph of a quadratic equation. Okay, do we have something that looks like this on our papers? Okay, good. So now what I want to talk about are the different parts and pieces of this graph. So the the most obvious thing would be the X-Intercepts. Now I only mentioned it and we've solved for them. So can anybody in the classroom remember or recall? I haven't talked about it much. But can you recall what the X-intercepts are when looking at this graph? Okay, it's going to be here. Good. And here. When we did the X factor and we took our factors and set them equal to 0, and then solved for X and then used the quadratic formula, remember that? That was finding this point. So this is what I call my zeros, or my 0. It is also what we call the root. It is also a solution. And the most obvious is the, what is it again? Good, X-intercept. Okay, now, hopefully, you drew your graph just like mine, where that it crosses it twice, and this little hoop is at the bottom. Let's talk about this little hoop down here. This is called, because it's at the bottom, it's called the minimum. And the very bottom of that, the very tail end, that is called the vertex. And then where it touches the y axis, can anybody guess what that is called? Good job. It is the y-intercept. And then we have one more. And let's talk about the axis of symmetry. The axis of symmetry, you're going to take the parabola, because this is called a parabola, and we're going to fold it in half. And where we fold it in half is the axis of symmetry. So straight down the middle. And I'm looking for a ruler that I did not already have out. And they are all out there on the cards, aren't they? Okay, well, we're just going to use the grater. And that is called the axis. Thank you for that. Of symmetry. This is the axis of symmetry.